Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the solo leveling class mod in Baldur's Gate 3, the Shadow Monarch. This is the version that's on console, made by Eddie Main 2021. It's also on PC too, but with this mod, you get some cool abilities based off the solo leveling anime. So you get the ability to create some shadow weapons, and we have a bunch of cool abilities that we can take control of enemies with. Also some recommendations for some other mods that can work well alongside this, which I'll share in a bit. But first things first, we get to choose 2 cantrips at level 1. I think the best ones are either, obviously Eldritch Blast is super good. Bone Chill is nice because it stops target from healing, but Minor Illusion can be great too. Now we get 2+2 bonuses, so we're going to take Dexterity up to 16, Constitution at 14, 10 Intelligence, Wisdom, and 17 Charisma. And for skill proficiencies, we're going to take Athletics there. So I'll also be covering gear because there's some weapons in the base game that actually kind of fit this pretty well, so I'll be showing all of those off in this video. So at level 2, we get ourselves the fast movement, increase movement speed by 3 meters, and shadow manipulation allows you to manipulate shadows into weapon and allies. So we get Pact to the Blade using our spellcasting ability modifier for attacks, and we also get shadow manipulation. You have the ability to manipulate the shadows into a weapon and summon the shadows to fight by your side. You also get 2 fighting styles, so we're going to take defense. Now if we want to use a shield, dueling is going to be great. Now typically he doesn't really use a shield in the show, so 2 weapon fighting can be good here if we want to go with that. It'll add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack with your offhand attack. Archery can be nice too if you want to have that range weapon attacking, but you know, we'll go to 2 weapon fighting there, and we'll go with 2 swords. And for our level 3 level, we get to choose a subclass, the Shadow Sovereign, giving us the Commander's Presence, bolster nearby allies with Supernatural Resolve. Their attacks deal an additional 1-6 psychic damage for 5 turns. Or the Night Reaper, which gives us the Silent Predator, deal extra necrotic damage against the target that you have advantage on. So the Shadow Sovereign is the true monarch of shadows. I think this one fits most perfectly for Sunjing Moon, so we'll go with this one here and get the Commander's Presence. So once we get to level 4, we get ourselves a feat, and we also get the Ebon Strike, deal regular damage and possibly inflict Ebon Rupture, which causes extra damage on attacks. We also get to pick a spell here, so we have a Fear Ray, which is kind of cool. This uses an eye stalk action, so you can't actually end up using it just because of the resource that it requires. But we also got different spells like Armor of Agathis, the Hellish Rebuke here, which is kind of nice. Dissonant Whispers is pretty solid, and we can also go with Fog Cloud to be able to hide out in that. And for our feat, we'll go into the ability score improvement. I think taking up our dexterity works best for better armor class. We could also go with the actor feat, which will give us a devil proficiency bonus in deception and performance checks, which is actually really good. And that would take our charisma up to 18. You can go with either of those selections there. If you're the face of the party, that makes sense. Level 5, we get the extra attack. And we get the Rising Army, which is a command spell, and command very effective. So there's a special ring that we can actually use from the base game that helps out a lot here. And we get Shadow Manipulation too. So as we continue to level up, we're going to get some cool new effects like the Key Empowered Strike. So we basically can override any resistance on our unarmed attacks. And you'll see the Shadow Bulwark, which bolsters with Resolve. Allies gain temporary health points, so we can boost up our teammates' health. Now the reason I want the 2 weapon fighting, we get ourselves a bonus action here, so we can do 2 double attacks, and we also get Shadow Step. You can teleport 30 meters or 30 feet to a space you can see that's dimly lit as a bonus action. And we get 2 really great spells here with the Darkness and the Hold Person. Shadow or Misty Step's nice, but we already get a version of that doesn't use our spell slot, so we're going to use that one. Level 8, we just get our feat, so I'd recommend just maxing with dexterity there for better armor class and initiative. At level 9, we get Tenacity. You gain the Evasion feature. When subjected to an effect that allows a dexterity saving throw for half damage, you take no damage on a success and half on a failure. So that is basically the evasion feat from the Monk and the Rogue. Once we get to level 10, we get the Shadow Domain. You radiate an aura of darkness within a 20-foot radius. Hostile creatures within this aura have disadvantage on attack rolls. You can activate this as a bonus action. We also get Shadow Manipulation 3 and the Legion of Darkness. You can create a summon a shadow of darkness. We also want to get level 1 spells again here, so we can go with like Armor of Agathis and Arms of Hadar for options there. And once we get to level 11, we just get ourselves some health, and level 12 gives us the feat. So we could go with like ability score improvement on our charisma. Even just going with like the alert feat for +5 initiative works well. Savage Attacker, which will re-roll damage dice, is also a nice consideration, but we'll just go with the alert feat for better initiative. Going first is going to be huge because this allows us to set up our Shadow Domain. But what we'll be doing for a build, so you got your Shadow Manipulation, letting you, this gives the Shadow Extraction Beast. You can summon a Beast of a Shadow. We can summon this here in, and this just gives us a owl bear basically that we can attack with, and it's got necrotic damage on its attacks. Pretty nice. And we also got our Umbra Kinesis. It doesn't show up for some reason, but your absolute controller of shadows allows you to increase your armor class by 2, and this is per short rest. So for our gear, so we're rolling with the birthright hat for +2 charisma, cloak protection for better armor class, the armor of agility to make our armor class 26, and we can still cast spells with that. Hellas gloves for better spell casting and fire damage on our attacks, the evasive shoes for better armor class. I went with the knife of the Undermountain King and the Rhapsody blade, which are 2 very powerful ones that benefit us in multiple ways. So this will give us better spell save DC and better damage and attack rolls, and we also can inflict bleeding when hitting from invisible. And with this weapon, we get increased critical hit chance, and we also get advantage on actions or attack rolls against lightly or heavily obscured targets, which doesn't currently work, but it will in patch 8. We also got the Hellrider Longbow for +3 initiative, so we're going to move first. So there's no way that we can't with all the bonuses to our initiative. Alternatively, you could add in like the hand crossbows too, or the dead shot. They'll give us a better critical hit chance. And then we went the Ring of Protection and the Killer Sweeter for a free crit and Amulet of Greater Health. So we also got our Shadow Domain here, bonus action ability, and we got some other things we can summon in. So Shadow Extraction Mage we can also summon in. You can only summon one at a time, but this one is a little bit better because it has all these different effects: Beckoning Darkness, Life Drain, and main hand attacks. So this is a little bit of a better summon that we could have, basically feeling like the anime itself. So we got our Shadow Bulwark to give ourselves some extra health. We also have the Mutilation, strike a target dealing massive damage and create a weak point. I also like to use, if you wanted to go with a bit of a different weapon, we can add in a spear weapon that's going to be very good for evil playthroughs with Shar Spear of the Evening, which allows us to hide out in our darkness. If we really want to min-max, this would be the way to do it, because this is going to give us the most damage. So we could alternatively add in that. That's going to be pretty strong. It doesn't fit really thematically, but you could go with it. And we didn't take the dual wielder feat, so we unfortunately can't equip ourselves with a extra weapon, but you can add in a shield, and that would give us a 29 armor class, so pretty good. And we're going to take that up to 34 with we got our extra armor class from this, and we can also add extra psychic damage under attack. So what this will look like in actual combat, it's pretty good. So we are going to apply our Umbra Kinesis here, so we can give ourselves a better basically it's a Shield of Faith. And also, I can't get it to apply. I usually have Gale apply haste to my character, so we can use Gaunter Mail to give ourselves the Celestial Haste, which is another way to really boost up the damage of this. So if you got that bow, this will put our armor class up to 36, which is really good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop down our Shadow Domain, getting into a good position first to drop it, and then we're just going to set up with that. So this is a bonus action ability. We get 2 bonus actions. We also get an action and an action. Don't know what's really going on there, but yeah, we also got ourselves a mutilation attack that we can roll with. So we're going to use this again here against this target, and we'll start combat off there. So this will have us within our darkness here, and we can just go ahead with starting to fight. So we got mutilation is going to be probably the best damage option that we got. It's actually pretty strong with what it can do. Also, the Ballast Armor, I should have mentioned. The Ballast Armor is probably another good, really powerful attack that we could go with. Command is nice because we can use this to just divert the enemy's attention and make them come towards us, which is perfect when we have our Shadow Domain set up. I should also probably precast Eldritch or the Armor of Agathis there for a little bit extra damage, but we'll just go ahead here with another mutilation attack here because it's pretty powerful, and you'll see, yeah, it explodes corpses whenever you attack with it. So just be mindful of that. It's only once per battle, so yeah, it's pretty strong, but Shadow Bulwark is also another option that we could have had to set up some extra damage. I'm just going to go ahead here with critical miss against this target. And then, I don't know why, there's some mod that's causing me to have some issues with my with actions there. I don't know why it's giving me a second one. We also get ourselves the Unarmed Strike from the monks, so we can go ahead with an Unarmed Strike and roll to 30 there. Basically just kicks them. And then we got the Commander's Presence. I should have probably popped this earlier. So this gives extra psychic damage on our attacks, 1d8. And we'll just camp out there. So our Shadow Summon here gets a few different attacks, and also Shadow Step to get into a better position there. We're doing pretty good. They've been attacking us and they can't hit us because our armor class is very high. But you can go with the Untenable Secret here, so we can apply this to this enemy. They got counterspelled, which is okay. I actually would like my summon to get counterspelled versus me getting counterspelled, although we don't really have that great of damage. We can also apply the Beckoning Darkness on them, so they'll take extra damage when they're in darkness. And that's the skill that the Shar people over, you can see them over there, they will inflict that on you as well. So we're just camping out in our darkness here, letting them come towards us. We're pretty strong. Like, they don't really have much that they can do against us. So back to our turn now. So we also got the Ebon Strike here, which we use per short rest. So this does extra damage on the target. So we're going to use it on the one that has the most health there. So we'll apply that. Ebon Rupture makes them take a little bit of extra damage. And then what we'll do is we'll follow this up with another attack. So we can actually create darkness within our darkness here. So with the Shard Spear of the Night, whenever you apply darkness, we got basically double darkness that we can hide out in, so they can't actually see us now, which is pretty nice. So then we'll just follow up with another attack. This is probably the biggest. Oh, critical miss. That was not good. And I'll go with Mind Blast because we don't really have much other options for damage. So we'll just do something like that. My game's being weird, the bugs, where it just causes issues with the actions there. I'm not sure what's happening. None of the other people on my team are able to make any actions. But when we're in our special extra darkness here, we're basically unhittable because they're not even going to be able to see us. So that's really nice. And then we can also, if you wanted to, set up some other things like Black Hole to pull enemies towards us. Because we have extra bonus actions. This is using obviously a Lithid ability, so if you don't have them, you can't really use them. But there's a few nice ones that we can actually stack up here. Like the Repulsor can push or pull anyone back. We can even set up a Mind Sanctuary here, which will let us use actions and bonus actions interchangeably. So inside of our darkness, we now have a pretty crazy setup, which we can see, only we can see from, and they can't do anything about it. And what's funny is, since there's darkness there, basically what happens is they can't attack us, but they're going to try and want to do something. They're within the, that was a really weird action, running towards that and then running towards them. But they can also attack and do some pretty good damage too. So they're typically, you're going to use the Untenable Secret here, which will give some psychic damage. Got counterspelled again. That's okay. We'll just apply Beckoning Darkness, I guess, on this target. They're not heavily obscured, so yeah, targets are too far. We'll move them. Yeah, we'll just run right out into here. And we're in the Commander's presence now, and yeah, we'll just end our turn. So this class is working pretty weird. Since we're in this spot here, we can just like go with Eldritch Blast. Going to be our best damage option, but it's a damage option nonetheless. But my personal recommendation is to pull a Black Hole and try to grab everyone that you can closer to where you're at. And then if you have any area of effect attacks, this is perfect because they're now in prime position. So like Arms Vidar could be good, stops everyone from using reactions. We don't really have much as far as weapons that can hit multiple targets, so we do got to get a little bit creative here with what we're going to do, but we can move into there and go with just, I guess, some regular weapon attacks. I'm not sure why I lost the ability to do that, but again, my game is having some very weird things happen, so yeah, that's, I guess, something that happened. So I'll apply the Beckoning Darkness now on another character that's gotten into our darkness zone. So that's one of the nice things about this, is you can apply that there. And you're going to see they have a weird tendency to not attack us while we're in this zone, so it works out. We want to camp out in as much as possible, and yeah, that's, I guess, really the best way to go about playing that. And back to our turn. We'll now do a weapon attack, and hopefully I can do just more than one of them, and we'll just roll a crit there, which will take that target out, and then we can follow that up with some more. We also get punches. We can do punch attacks too. I guess it didn't take them out. So we'll do our arm strike against this target here, kick them and take them out. Perfect. And we get, I guess, Black Hole again, but for some reason we again can't use those abilities, so I'll just pull a Black Hole there, and that'll at least attack them for the next turn. They're all slowed there too, so that works out well in our favor. And again, you're gonna see they won't even really deal with us. Yeah, they just skip their turns while they're in their darkness. The Beckoning Darkness killed them, which is fine. That's what we wanted. And they're trying to take that out, which is, the Shadowcast are good for tanking. The Untellable Secret now hit them, so that was perfect. We can try to get that off again. Untenable Secret, perfect. And then we'll just hit it with the darkness here, Beckoning Darkness. That's fine. They're displaced. They're just gonna walk around. That's the thing. When they're in the darkness, it acts weird. They'll just yell at you. Not sure why they do that, but this one's going for Shadowheart. It's annoying. And for some reason, my other characters can't actually use actions either, so I'm not sure what's happening with the... I don't think it's this mod that's causing the issue, but it's definitely making this fight a little bit more challenging than it needs to be. We'll go with another weapon attack here, and we'll give ourselves a free crit to take them out. And when we kill them, we make them reappear as a Death Shepherd. So that is really nice. And it's going to take over because our other summon is almost taken out. And we'll do a bonus action punch on this target, which won't kill them, but it'll do a bit of damage. And they're bleeding, so they'll likely get taken out next turn. And then I guess we'll go with another dark hole here, just pull everyone together and stun them or slow them. Black hole is such a really good ability. It's a great bonus action, and I can't do anything about this guy. She's bleeding, so and slowed. I got shoved, barely did anything. And I guess we'll just try to take this target out here. We don't really got much options, just bonus actions. This guy's got 1 health. His beckoning darkness took that target out, so that was perfect. And for some reason I can't use my other ability, but we'll apply beckoning darkness onto them now. And that was enough to take them out, so perfect. Our little summon did its work. And then we can use the Death Shepherd on our next turn, which the Death Shepherd's really nice. I really like having that summon. And the Shadowy Darkness will follow us around as well, so we're going to chase them down. I don't have the range to get it, so we'll just hit them with an Eldritch Blast, which we have disadvantage on for some reason. But there we go. That is the Shadow Monarch, the solo leveling class mod made by Eddie's Main 21. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.